Nigel Farage has mocked Boris Johnson's TV address and joked the biggest change was that people could now sunbathe in public places. Boris Johnson addressed the nation on Sunday evening, as he unveiled the government's coronavirus exit strategy. The 12-minute-long speech has received a mixed response, with Brexit Party leader Nigel Farage ripping into the Prime Minister for delivering a presidential-style address. Mr. Farage wrote on Twitter, "I think the big change from this much-vaunted presidential-style address is that I can sunbathe. Was that really it?" He added in a separate tweet, "Never in the field of human statesmanship was so much said to such little effect." The outspoken politician wasn't alone. His criticism of Mr. Johnson, with the hashtag Boris has failed trending on Twitter shortly after the speech was aired at 7 p.m. Almost 100,000 people have used the hashtag, used to criticize the government's latest steps in defeating the virus. One person wrote, "In case anyone was wondering, I will absolutely be staying home and not putting myself at risk for a bit of sun and a jolly at the park with my friends. See ya on the second peak." #Boris has failed. Another user said, "One would think that the quarantining of airports would have been the first step, not one of the last, with us being an island and all." #Boris has failed. A third commented on the government's plans for a phased reopening of schools. Hay wrote, "Asking primary school children to keep 2 meters apart I am sure will work well and can't possibly go wrong." #Boris Johnson. #Boris has failed. #Boris speech. Another person commented on the measure, "Absolutely furious. So, roughly 180 children plus staff are going to be able to socially distance from each other in just 3 weeks' time, are they? And despite every union writing to the government to tell them this is unacceptable." Another user mocked the latest announcement and said, "Stay home. If you can. Go to work, if you think you must."